Hey guys, Luke back with another video. This one's going to be a build guide, which I haven't done for a while, but here it is. This will be a build guide on the sleep mechanic, as well as using the Regalia of Eochaid for that, sleep them and then just follow up with a big drill. And it usually one-shots no matter who the enemy is, unless it's a boss, of course. But it actually does one-shot some bosses, and I'll show you that later on in the video. But I'll go ahead and jump into the clips showing you off the gear, the early game stats, the mid game stats, the late game stats, all the items, where to get them, and all that good stuff. So go ahead and jump into it. I'll quickly go over how the sleep mechanic works. So once you put something to sleep, it will be asleep for up to 60 seconds. Usually 60 seconds is the duration of it. And it will leave anything open to a critical attack. So like a backstab or like a riposte attack. Or you can do this, which is basically what the build is centered around. Some enemies won't fall asleep for the full 60 seconds, like these knights I'm about to show you, for example. This guy will only fall asleep for 1 second, but it still leaves them open for like a strong attack or a special attack. Alright, so now I'll go over the items you're going to want and the stats you're going to want as well. The items, of course, are Regalia of Eochaid and Sword of St. Trina for weapons. These are both pretty early on in the game to get. You can get them at like level 30. They're just over in Caelid. The weapon, your bow, doesn't matter which bow you pick. I chose black bow because it has the short bow moveset, which is pretty nice. It allows you to do like the jumping attack into a normal attack really quickly. And that allows you to build up sleep a lot faster with these sleep bone arrows. Your armor sets don't matter, just wear whatever is good for you. More poise is better. And then the talismans you're going to want for late game are Shard of Alexander, Rotten Wing Sword Insignia for the greatly raises attack power with successive attacks, and this does affect the Dancing Blade weapon art. With the grinding that it does, it hits like 1,000,000 times, so that procs the full talisman effect right off the bat. And this one also raises attack power with successive attacks and gives us some dexterity, which is our main stat. The Godfrey icon here enhances charged spells and skills. This does also affect the Dancing Blade, and then this one, of course, just gives you more attack power on your skills, which does affect Dancing Blade. If you want to use summons, you can use Deloris, the Sleeping Arrow Puppet. Absolutely crazy summon. It spams sleep arrows, and of course we use sleep, so this does benefit us greatly, so we like that one. For your stats, this is what I would have at level 140 personally, but there are some alternatives you can do here. For Vigor, we max it. Well, not max it, but we put as many points as we can into Vigor. Since we're melee, we like to be able to take some hits. For Mind, 2 points into Mind if you want to be able to summon Deloris. If not, none. For Endurance, this is sort of up to you. I chose less endurance because I wanted more damage, but if you want more armor, you can put more points into endurance. For strength, 12 is our minimum we need. Dexterity, my dexterity is too high actually. You just want to put it at 80 because that's the soft cap. And then for the other stats, you want 14 int for the base for the St. Trina sword, and the arcane at 15 as well for the base on the Regalia. Alternatively, you could go, for example, 50 into dexterity and then 50 into arcane, because Regalia also scales with arcane. If you want to do more weapon art side of things, where you just do most of your damage with this, I'd recommend putting points into arcane. But if you're like me and you like having consistent damage for both the weapons, just go big dex, and then after this level you can start to pump your arcane up and get even more damage on that weapon art. And as for your Wondrous Physick, I recommend using the Thorny Cracked tier because this gives you the successive attack power buff, and this does stack with our talismans to do the same thing. And the other one, I would use Magic Shroud and Cracked tier for the magic damage, or the Dexterity Not Crystal tier for the main stat dex. It's always nice. Another one you could use is maybe this one for the HP regen, or this one for the stamina recovery. At level 30, you'll have both of your weapons and Radagon Soreseal as well as Wing Sword Insignia, very early on items to get. For your Physick, you want Strength Knot and Dexterity Knot at this level. For your stats, you're going to want 12 strength, I have Radagon Soreseal on, so it's 17. Dexterity, you need 18 dexterity to wield both weapons, 14 int to wield the St. Trina sword, and 15 arcane to wield the Regalia. And then after you have the base stats to wield both weapons, you'll just put the rest of the points into Vigor, because you're going to want Vigor because it's a melee build. For your mid-game stats and gear, you're going to want both weapons at probably plus 6-ish. The 2 talismans I mentioned at level 30, and then I use Great Jars for the extra equip load here and the Godfrey icon you can have by this level. For your stats, you're going to want Strength, still at the base of 12. I have the Radagon Soreseal on, so it's 17. Dex, you're going to pump for your main damage stat. And then 14 in int and 15 in arcane still to reach those baseline stat requirements for the weapons. And then I put some points into endurance as well. To get the Regalia of Eochaid early without having to fight any enemies, you can head over to the Third Church of America. This is where you pick up your Wondrous Physick, and then you'll head over to the coast side, where I'm at now. And then over here, there's going to be a crack where my head is right here. We're going to jump up to it, and then again over to this crack right here. And then for this part, we're just sort of going to like sprint and just sort of spam jump and do all kinds of weird movements right here till you catch a good spot to get up there. Almost out at that time. There we go. And then over to this ledge over here is where we need to jump. And you can just do that by simply double tapping jump, and then you can pick it up right here. Actually, right over here. Get yourself the Sword of St. Trina without really needing to fight anything. Also, you can head over to the Rot View balcony in Caelid. This is right when you first get in Caelid. And then once you're here, you're just going to jump down. Jump down over here. Make sure you bring one stone sword key with you because you will need a stone sword key. And then you'll stick it in this pedestal right here. And then you just head down inside of here and there'll be a door you need to open. And the Sword of St. Trina is going to be sitting right here in this chest. If you'd like to get yourself the cookbook that lets you craft these sleep items, you can head over to the main academy gate. And this is in Liurnia of the Lakes. And then you're going to turn around and head straight through here. And about halfway down the bridge, or towards the end of it, there will be a merchant, and he will sell the cookbook. He also sells some other useful items, like the Michaela's Lily, which lets you craft the sleep items, as well as he sells 20 St. Trina arrows, which could come in handy. And we'll take a look at what else he can give you.
Well, it's been how can I?
There's the cookbook. It's 3,500. This will let you craft everything you need. And here's the St. Trina's arrows. What else do we have? And there's 3 of the lilies that you use to craft, as well as there's one right here. Since Trina's lilies do not respawn after you pick them out in the world, you'll need to farm them if you want to use the arrow strats through the game. And a good place to farm them pretty early is over here in Caelid at the Inraionia swamp area. There will be some clean rot knights over this way, down here at the bottom part of the swamp. And they have a chance to drop Trina's lilies, as well as Michaela's lilies and their full armor set and all that. But we're trying to get the Trina's lily. It only takes 1 to make 10 arrows. And it may take multiple kills just to even get one, so you'll find them right here. You'll see this guy's a clean rot knight. I'm going to go ahead and kill him. Here, let me jump off my horse. And you can see it right there at the bottom, the Trina's Lily. And that will give me 10 sleep bone arrows. And then I can just kill more sleep rot knights over and over again until I have the desirable amount of sleep arrows. Another spot you can farm them is up in the Apostate Dialect, but this is pretty late game. There's jellyfish around here, and they have a much higher chance to drop the Trina's Lilies than the Clean Rot Knights do. So I'll go ahead and show you that one too. Alright, so the best spot to get Trina's Lilies is up here at the Apostate Dialect. And this is in the consecrated snowfield area. But once you get here, just outside the church, there's jellyfish. You can see them right there. And actually, if you haven't looted them, there is multiple Trina's Lilies just scattered throughout this area. I believe there's 11 in total. And those don't respawn, but that's a good little amount that you can get just starting off. And if you want to farm them, you can kill the jellies, which I'll go ahead and do. If I can reach it. Cannot reach that one. So let's kill this one. And you can see he dropped one there. He dropped one as well. And they have a higher drop chance than the Clean Rot Knights. They drop, I think their drop chance for these are 8%, and the Clean Rot Knights are 2%. So you'll have an easier time farming them up here. But this is pretty late game, so you'll need to do the Clean Rot Knights if you're not in the consecrated snowfield yet. And if you'd like to get your hands on any of the items that I showed in this video, I will leave links to everything down in the description. This is a guide channel, so I do have guides on pretty much everything. So if you do find this video helpful, leave me a like and consider subscribing for more guide and PvP content to come.